Friends, today we are going to explain the 2002 movie Ghost Ship. This is the story of a ship where stepping aboard means inviting a painful death. However, Sean and Maureen are unaware of this and venture onto the ship. What happens to them is nothing less than a horrifying nightmare. But what exactly happened? What is Jack's truth? Will Maureen be able to save her companions? And why does she see the spirit of a little girl? To find answers to all these questions, stay tuned until the end of the video. The story begins in the year 1962, where we see a massive ship named Antonia Grazia in the middle of the Italian Ocean. It was a luxurious and expensive ship, with all its passengers enjoying a dance party in the ballroom. Among them was a little girl named Katie, who didn't seem particularly fond of the adult festivities. Instead of dancing, she sat in a corner solving a word puzzle. At that moment, the ship's captain approached her. Seeing her sitting alone, he invited her to dance with him. Katie agreed and started dancing with the captain. Meanwhile, in the ship's control room, a man pulled a lever. As he did this, a thin wire stretched across the dance floor, slicing through everyone, resulting in their gruesome deaths. Katie, however, survived because of her short height. But she was horrified by the horrifying scene around her. She even saw the captain she was dancing with, whose face had been split in two. Terrified, Katie let out a piercing scream. The story then jumps to the present, where we meet a salvage group that specializes in recovering ships stranded at sea. They get assigned to rescue another ship, completing the task and earning a handsome amount. The team consists of 5 members, including 1 female, Maureen Epps, and 4 males. While they were celebrating, a man named Jack approached them. Jack introduced himself as a weather service pilot and told them about a lost ship. Jack explained that 40 years ago, the ship Antonia Grazia disappeared somewhere in the ocean. It was rumored to carry a vast treasure that could change their lives. Jack claimed the ship was located somewhere in the Bering Sea and offered to split the treasure, asking for 20% as his share. The group's captain, Sean Murphy, discussed the offer with his team. Initially, everyone refused since they already had plenty of work. However, Sean convinced them by suggesting the treasure could be divided into 6 equal parts, promising a big payout for everyone. The team agreed, but Sean negotiated Jack's share down to 10%, to which Jack agreed. Jack insisted on accompanying them. The next day, the team set out on their steamer and reached the location Jack had mentioned. At first, the radar didn't detect any ship nearby, but suddenly, the massive ship appeared right in front of their steamer, causing a minor collision. Sean explained that the ship had been missing since 1969. The team decided to board the ship, leaving Jack and Greer behind on the steamer. As Sean, Maureen, and the others entered the ship, they heard strange noises. Following the sounds, they came across a pendulum that was still moving. As soon as they approached it, the pendulum stopped. One of the team members was about to touch it when a terrifying sound startled them all. In the midst of this eerie atmosphere, they noticed a Scrabble board. The words on the Scrabble board start changing on their own, forming the word welcome. However, the group doesn't pay attention and continues exploring. Suddenly, the floor of the ship collapses and one of their teammates falls in. Maureen manages to grab him in time and starts pulling him up. At that moment, she notices a little girl. It's Katie. Maureen stares at her, but the very next moment, Katie disappears. This unnerves Maureen, but she brushes it off, thinking the child was just a figment of her imagination. The group then enters a cabin where they find a digital watch. However, digital watches didn't even exist in 1962. Everyone is shocked, but Sean speculates that someone else might have come here before them and left it behind. Everyone agrees with Sean, who suggests taking a break and leaving with the ship in the morning. They return to their steamer, where Jack asks Sean how this ship ended up here. Sean recounts a story about a ship from the Second World War, where everyone on board vanished, and the ship was lost at sea. However, it turns out that Sean's story was about a different ship altogether. Meanwhile, Jack notices that Maureen seems unusually quiet. When he asks her about it, she tells him she saw a little girl on the ship who seemed to be trying to tell her something. Before Maureen could figure it out, the girl disappeared. Jack reassures her, saying that hallucinations at sea are not uncommon and that she shouldn't overthink it. The next morning, they return to the ship and discover a hole in its structure, which means the ship would sink in just 3 days. Towing it is impossible, so they decide to fix the hole first. Everyone gets to work, but strange incidents start happening. Maureen visits the ship's swimming pool, which is completely empty but littered with bullets. As she's leaving the pool, she sees Katie again. Startled, she slips and falls into the pool, hitting her head and bleeding. Strangely, the pool absorbs her blood. Hearing Maureen's cries, Jack rushes to the pool and helps her out. As they leave, the camera pans back to the pool, which suddenly fills with blood, revealing numerous floating dead bodies. Elsewhere, Sean finds a bottle of wine and a glass served in a cabin. As he attempts to drink, he notices the reflection of the captain in a mirror, which terrifies him, causing him to drop the glass. Meanwhile, Greer hears a woman singing and follows the voice to the ballroom where the passengers were dancing in 1962. He doesn't see anyone and leaves. The camera, however, pans back to reveal the woman singing. It's the same lady who was performing at the party in 1962, now a ghost. On the other side, Jack and Maureen enter a flooded area filled with decaying bodies. The sight horrifies them, and they hurriedly move to another chamber. Maureen, overwhelmed with fear, insists on leaving the ship at any cost. Jack tries to calm her down. Then, they notice a chest containing 28 gold bars. In total, there are 10 bags filled with gold. Overjoyed, Maureen calls the rest of the group to the chamber. Seeing so much gold, everyone celebrates with excitement. But Greer insists that something is wrong with the ship. He mentions hearing a woman singing and finding a lit cigarette, despite the ship appearing abandoned for years. However, everyone else is focused on the gold and ignores his concerns. Sean declares that they won't salvage the ship, but will take the gold boxes instead. Since their objective, the gold, has been achieved, the ship is of no further use to them. Everyone agrees with Sean's plan. They load the gold onto their steamer and prepare to leave. At this point, we see that a gas cylinder on their steamer has started leaking on its own, causing gas to spread. Meanwhile, Maureen once again sees Katie running toward her, but another spirit snatches Katie away. Terrified, Maureen runs back to the steamer. Just as one of their crew members starts the steamer, it explodes in a massive blast, killing him instantly. Now, the group is stranded, and Sean blames himself for everything. Maureen suggests repairing the ship to escape. However, a heated argument ensues, and the group splits up to search for supplies. 2 members head to the kitchen looking for food. Surprisingly, they find some and begin eating. However, they soon realize this is no ordinary ship. It's a ghost ship playing tricks on them. With tensions high, everyone goes their separate ways. Captain Sean Murphy ends up in a room where he not only finds wine, but also sees the ship's captain. The captain offers him wine, and they drink together. Meanwhile, Greer, disoriented by hallucinations, finds himself at a party where everyone is clapping for him. A beautiful woman, the same singer he had heard before, approaches him and invites him to dance. On the other side, Maureen searches the ship's passenger list to learn more about Katie. She finds Katie's name and, after searching various rooms, discovers Katie's skeleton hanging by a rope in her cabin. Realizing Katie is dead, Maureen is shocked when Katie's spirit appears. Katie explains that in 1969, she was traveling to meet her parents but never made it. She suspects they might be dead now too. Meanwhile, the ship's captain tells Sean that in 1962, they rescued a ship carrying a large amount of gold. Driven by greed, they transferred the gold onto their ship, a decision that proved fatal. 2 days later, their ship disappeared forever. The captain then reveals that there was only one survivor from that other ship and shows Sean a photo. Sean is horrified when he recognizes the person in the picture. The scene shifts back to Katie, who tells Maureen that she is not the only trapped soul on the ship. Many other spirits are imprisoned there, and they require new souls to be set free. Once the required number of souls is reached, they can leave. Before Katie can explain further, an evil spirit arrives and drags her away. Before leaving, Katie warns Maureen to escape the ship. Sean, now aware of the truth and the person behind these events, decides to warn the rest of the group. On his way, he encounters one of his deceased teammates, now horribly burned. Meanwhile, Greer is lured by the beautiful singer, who uses her charm to lead him to a secluded place.
In that ship, there was only one survivor left, whose photograph is shown to Sean. Upon seeing this picture, Sean becomes terribly frightened. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to Katie, who is explaining to Maureen that she is not alone on the ship. In fact, many spirits like her are trapped on this ship, and they need numerous other souls to be freed. Once the required number of souls is collected, she will be released. Before Katie could reveal more to Maureen, an evil spirit arrives and takes Katie away. However, before leaving, Katie advises Maureen to escape from there. Sean, upon seeing the photograph, realizes why everything is happening to them and who is behind it. He decides to inform his group members about the truth. On his way, he encounters his dead companion, who is now badly burnt. Elsewhere, Greer gets lured by the beautiful lady singer, who leads him to a secluded spot. As he follows her, he ends up falling from a great height and dies. Meanwhile, Maureen, searching for Sean, finds him, but Sean sees Maureen as his dead companion and attacks her. Maureen, struggling, manages to damage Sean's leg and save herself. However, Sean rises again and is about to kill Maureen when Jack arrives and saves her. Soon, the rest of the group also arrives, and they lock Sean in an iron chamber, thinking he has gone mad. The group then agrees with Maureen's suggestion to repair the ship. As they begin, Katie's spirit reappears before Maureen. Katie, being a benevolent spirit, wants to save them from the impending doom. Using her powers, she takes Maureen back to the night of 1969, where all the passengers were killed in various ways. In this flashback, it is revealed that the cook had poisoned the passengers' food, killing many of them. Those who survived were shot dead by a group on the ship. This group was killing people to seize gold stored on the ship. After killing everyone, they reach the storage room filled with gold. However, the lady singer arrives, seduces one of the men, and manipulates him into killing the others. Finally, she kills the man as well. Thinking the gold is hers, she is confronted by the mastermind of this entire game, who signals a hook that kills her. It is revealed that the mastermind is none other than Jack, who killed everyone and brought the current group to the ship to kill them as well. Jack is not a normal human, but a demon who traps souls by killing people. Realizing this truth, Maureen rushes to tell Sean, but finds that the chamber where he was locked is now filled with water, and Sean has drowned. Maureen confides the truth to another group member, but Jack arrives. Pretending not to know about Jack's reality, Maureen subtly alerts her companion to stay cautious. She then heads to help another group member stuck in the engine room while repairing the ship. Before she can rescue him, the engine activates, brutally killing him. Meanwhile, Jack realizes the group has uncovered his secret and moves forward to kill Maureen's companion.
He fires, but it backfires, hitting Jack instead. Then he comes to Maureen, who is preparing to blow up the entire ship by planting bombs. However, he tells her that he has already killed Jack, so there's no need to destroy the ship. In reality, this companion had become greedy because of the gold stored on the ship. But Maureen refuses to listen. That's when he reveals that he is actually Jack. Jack is a powerful and dangerous demon who can take on any form. He explains that he manipulates people into committing sins and then kills them to capture their souls. Jack also reveals that he marks his victims with a hook symbol on their hands to ensure they follow his commands. Currently, the souls of Jack's group are killing Maureen's companions to complete his target of collecting souls. Jack warns that if Maureen blows up the ship, all the souls he has captured will be freed. But Jack cannot allow that at any cost. He offers her a deal. If she agrees not to blow up the ship, he will let her go. Maureen refuses the offer, which enrages Jack, and he attacks her. Just before falling, Maureen presses the trigger for the bombs, causing a massive explosion that shatters the ship into pieces. The trapped souls begin to free themselves, including Katie. Katie helps Maureen get out of the water and, after thanking her, ascends to heaven. At that moment, another ship arrives and spots Maureen, rescuing her immediately. Maureen, heavily injured, is taken to the hospital for treatment. While recovering, Maureen once again sees Jack, who is now targeting another ship. He is transporting a large amount of gold, and Maureen realizes that the people on that ship are going to die. She screams loudly as the story ends here. So friends, this was the Ghost Ship movie. I hope you enjoyed both the movie and the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon. See you in the